all what we have been saying is that we don't know when and how the situation will end. It was very difficult to predict when and how COVID will end, when and how Russia-Ukraine will end. What we have been saying to our clients is that shipping usually thrives amidst chaos, and we have seen the signs of rising freight rate as the more and more cargo divert from the Suez Canal to the Cape of Good Hopes. And yes, certainly the cost has gone up for the ships, but what is very important for all of us to understand that it is the difference between demand and supply which drives the freight rate. So the freight rate increase that we have seen essentially is a reflection that a sizable amount of capacity is taken out. For example, if you talk about container shipping, quarter of the trade actually goes through this route. So it's meaningful.
Overall, though, Parash, it would be fair to say, and I think we talked to a couple of other experts about this, in terms of vessels as well as boxes, right? The market is in a state of considerable oversupply, is it not?
Absolutely, and we are into this down cycle. But what is very, very important to understand is that it is at given point of time, the demand and supply imbalance. And in fact, because of the COVID, actually, we are still not too worried about where the freight rate has risen. But if you draw a long-term chart for the freight rate, barring COVID, the freight rate are already at an all-time high. So it is meaningful despite being in a down cycle.
Okay.
And it all coincides.
Does the same go for insurance rates?
So insurance, what we have heard that pre this situation, it used to cost you about 6-7 basis points on the value of the goods, while insurance companies are still comfortable with insuring those cargoes. But some of those rates has gone to like 60-70 basis points.
Whew. So that's 10x, 10
in
times.
terms of the value of the goods, yeah.
Holy cow, wow.
We'll get on to the names that you cover on the shipping and the container and the tanker side, but clearly one of the key beneficiaries of the shift to air freight will be DHL and Cathay. Just walk us through why you feel so.
So, like what we have seen in all previous crises, right? To manage the just-in-time inventories, particularly in the auto space, those retailers, those manufacturers have to move to an alternate mode of transportation. And naturally, there is not enough capacity both in the rail network as well as into the air network. But a small shift is sufficient enough given the fact that 90% of the global trade moves through the sea. And to that extent, we will see a surge in the air freight rate. We spoke to a couple of the industry people. The air freight rate hasn't surged as yet, but everybody is expecting that to happen in the next 2 to 3 weeks, especially as we get closer to the Chinese New Year holidays. And to that effect, Cathay, which derives about quarter of its revenue from the cargo, being placed out of one of the largest air cargo terminal, is certainly set to benefit.